I hope it is visible to everyone. See, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj was a very great revolutionary preacher. He was a very great acharya. So many a times he took very bold decisions. So as per Hindu, Sanatan Dharma, no one was allowed to cross ocean. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, he envisioned a broader picture for preaching the Krishna consciousness movement all across the globe. So therefore he used to send disciples to the Western country. So one such disciple was sent to England for preaching, and he had come back from London unsuccessfully. So on the afternoon of the last day, one of our god brothers had just arrived in Navadvip, having returned from London by boat. He had gone to preach but had returned without meeting with full success. In the evening, while Guru Maharaj was giving pravachana, he explained that it was his earnest desire that the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should be spread in the Western countries. He told how it was the vision of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura that this would happen, and it was also the request of his mother Srimati Bhagavati Devi to him before she left this world. So both Bhaktivinoda Thakura and Bhagavati Devi ji, they parents of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, they requested Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Maharaj to preach the message of Krishna consciousness to the Western world. What is the message of Krishna consciousnness? Whatever we are doing now, whatever chanting we are doing, the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, the message of Bhagavad Gita, this is the Krishna consciousness message. And they both requested to preach this. Consequently, he had been willing to take the lifeblood of the Gaudiya Mutt in funds to send devotees there to preach, but so far these attempts had been largely unsuccessful. So now you are able to understand the scenario, Gayatri and Anushree. Hare Krishna, Gayatri, Anushree. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Gayatri, Anushree. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, ma. Thank you. So the scenario is like this. Narayan Das Babaji Maharaj. Who is Narayan Das Babaji Maharaj?
God brother of Srila Prabhupada.
Exactly. Thank you, Manushree. Thank you very much. So, God brother of Srila Prabhupada, he is recollecting an incident that happened in Prabhupada's life. So, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, he was a great preacher, and they were in Mayapur in West Bengal, close to Kolkata. There is 2 hours journey from Kolkata, 2 or 3 hours journey from Kolkata is the Mayapur city. So in that Mayapur, what had happened was, in that Mayapur city, there was a big parikrama going on. See, Mayapur, Navadvip Dham and Vrindavan, they are all the dhams where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has done lot of pastimes. Krishna has done lot of pastimes, lot of leelas in Vrindavan. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has done leelas in Mayapur, Navadvip Dham. So it is very sacred. So therefore, all devotees used to go to Navadvip, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj used to organize huge such trips, that travel trips. So he explained that it was his earnest desire that teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should be spread in the Western countries. He told how it was the vision of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura that this would happen, and it was also the last request of his mother Srimati Bhagavati Devi. So now Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj was sending all his sannyasi disciples to the Western world to preach. but there was no success. Now, here is the very interesting point now. At this moment in his talk, I noticed that something very mysterious was happening. Guru Maharaj was looking out at the large crowd of devotees, especially in the front, where all the sannyasis and brahmacharis in red cloth were there. So even now in our temple, you will see our Amitasan Prabhu, Dhir Gopal Prabhu, they all will wear saffron clothes. So even in olden days also, during Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj's time, they used to wear saffron clothes or such clothes. Then he turned his head and looked over to his left side where I was standing. So Nayanananda Das Babaji Maharaj was standing left side of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. He was looking intently at someone and became silent for a long moment. So what happened? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj looked on towards left hand side and he became silent for a long time. I was standing and he was looking intently at someone and became silent for a long moment. I happened to look behind and I clearly saw that the person with whom he was making eye contact was Abhay Charanaravinda Prabhu. I thought that they were looking at each other in a special way. Then Guru Maharaj again addressed the audience in front of him and said, "But I have a prediction. However long in the future it may be, I predict that one of my disciples will cross the ocean and that devotee will bring back the whole world." I remembered this incident and Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj truly made it come to pass exactly in this way. So, Anushri and Gayatri, whom Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj was looking at? Whom was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj looking at? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, to the all the sannyasis who gathered there and the audience, they were looking at each other.
No, ma, you missed the most important point. Can you read this paragraph which is on the screen? Can you please read this paragraph in your own words? Can you please read out what you are seeing on the screen? You're using a laptop or a mobile?
Mobile.
So you're using mobile. Take, I'll read. So now you please very carefully listen, Gayatri and Anushri, both of you. At this moment in his talk, I noticed that something very mysterious was happening. Guru Maharaj was looking out at the large crowd of devotees, especially in the front where all the sannyasis and brahmacharis in red cloth were. Then he turned his head and looked over to his left side where I was standing. He was looking intently at someone and became silent for a long moment. I happened to look behind me and I clearly saw that the person with whom he was making eye contact was Abhay Charanaravinda Prabhu. Who is Abhay Charanaravinda Prabhu?
Srila Prabhupada.
Exactly. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj was making eye contact with Srila Prabhupada. So I thought that they were looking at each other in a special way. Then Guru Maharaj again addressed the audience in the front of him and said, But I have a prediction. However long in the future it may be, I predict that one of my disciples will cross the ocean and that devotee will bring back the whole world. I remembered this incident and Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj truly made it come to pass exactly in this way. So, this is our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, and I wish both of you become my god sisters, my junior god sisters, you know. So, Srila Prabhupada, a humble Grahastha Vaishnava. Srila Nayanananda Das Babaji Maharaj recollects Abhayacharan Abhaya Prabhu behaved very humbly to everyone, even though he was senior in many ways to the most of the people who came later during these 11 years. He would always pay dandavat to others just because they had taken initiation first. Though he made the devoted connection with our Gurudeva first, he didn't formally take initiation until later on because of his family and his business. I clearly recall how very serious, simple, and humble he was. So, Prabhupada was very humble. Now, sometimes what happens is, if Anushri, you are now in 7th standard, no?
No, 8th standard.
8th standard. So, if someone is 5th standard and if they come to your house, will you pay dandavat? Will you say Hare Krishna to them and say fold your hands to them?
Yeah, yes, sometimes.
Okay. So, but Prabhupada, even though someone was not senior to him, but they were younger to him, but they had they had taken Diksha from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj earlier to Prabhupada, though they were younger in age to them. Prabhupada, out of natural humility, out of humbleness, he would pay dandavats to those. So this is Prabhupada. So we also have to follow in steps of Prabhupada. Prabhupada was very meek and humble. We should respect devotees. Here Prabhupada is not showing respect to any karmi. He is not showing respect to any businessman. He is not showing respect to any student. He is not showing respect to anyone else. He is showing respect to only devotees who have taken initiation before Srila Prabhupada. I'll read further. Sometimes when I was in Calcutta, I would go to visit him at Sita Kant Banerjee Lane, where he had his home and chemical business. Sat Prasangananda Brahmachari, who is 93 years old now, and Satecha Prabhu, who is 73 years old, 73, used to accompany me when I visited his house on Sita Kanta Banerjee Lane. He was very affectionate to us. He always welcomed guests into his home. He opened his house to any Vaishnavas from Gaudiya Math, whether they were his god brothers or young brahmacharis who weren't god brothers and hadn't even initiated. Srila Prabhupada quits his home to be a vanaprastha. So this is Prabhupada. Prabhupada used to live in Sita Kanta Banerjee Lane. So this is the name of the lane where Prabhupada used to live. And Prabhupada had a pharmacy business. Prabhupada used to work earlier for Bose Laboratory as a manager, and then finally he also took franchisee of the Bose pharmaceuticals, and he started his own pharmacy as Day Pharmacy in Allahabad. Today's Prayagraj was earlier known by Allahabad. These Muslim rulers, they used to do a lot of things. So they changed Mayapur's name as Miyapur, and Prayagraj's name was changed to Allahabad or Allahabad. Actually, it is Prayagraj. So, similarly, so many other names are there in the name of invaders. So many names are there in Delhi also. So they have to be changed. Srila Prabhupada quits home to be a vanaprastha. Excerpts from Transcendental Diary, Volume 2 by Harishauri Dasa. Harishauri Dasa writes, "You may know my story, tea or me," Srila Prabhupada asked me. No, Srila Prabhupada, I said, intrigued and eager to hear. He gave a chuckle, means Prabhupada is laughingly telling this. My wife, she was fond of drinking tea. So one day I told her, either you give up your tea drinking or you give up your husband. Oh, then I'll give up my husband. Of course, she thought I was joking. He went on. But a few days later, I left the house without telling anyone. I borrowed 10 rupees from a friend and bought a train ticket and I never returned. Where did you go? Somewhere, anywhere? He laughed. He never saw his wife again. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura urged Srila Prabhupada to take sannyas. Excerpt from Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita Volume 1 by Satswarupa Dasa. So, what are we gaining by reading Prabhupada's these incidents? We are gaining insight in regards to how one should be in spiritual life. See, Prabhupada, we know that in spiritual life we have to make a lot of sacrifices. So Prabhupada did those sacrifices. He took those sacrifices. And we have to be strict about certain things, like drinking tea. One should always try to completely avoid these meat eating, intoxication, gambling, no onion, no garlic. You should not try as much as possible. You should never ever eat onion, never ever eat garlic. You should never drink tea. So this lady, Prabhupada's wife, she is so unfortunate, or this could be Leela of the Lord also, that she is having Srila Prabhupada as her husband. And look at the trick of Maya. Maya has covered her consciousness. So, Maya apaharta jnana bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya apaharta chetasam. So, what is this? Bhoga and Aishwarya. When you are too much after Bhoga and Aishwarya, so don't, therefore, some people, they want lot of comforts. Even devotees also, they sometimes fall in this trap that I want comfort, I want all these things. So when you fall in this trap of comfort, I cannot live without AC, I cannot live without such and such things, I cannot study, I cannot do japa, only in AC I'll do japa, or if they treat me nicely, only then I'll go to temple. If such and such Prabhuji does not talk to me, I will not go to temple. These kind of things, if they come, these are all tricks of Maya. These are all tricks of Maya. So Maya is trying to take our mind away from Krishna. Somehow by Sukriti, somehow by the efforts, we have got Krishna consciousness. So Maya will try to snatch this away. So it's very important for us that we be very vigilant and take informed decisions. So therefore, we have to be very, very careful. So Prabhupada's wife, she did not realize the true position of Srila Prabhupada. So imagine if Krishna comes to us, because we are material, we can never identify Krishna. So same was the case with, we are still in material life. Even if Prabhupada comes, because of our gross ignorance, because of all the sins that we have committed, we might not be able to identify Srila Prabhupada. We might not be able to take up the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. So therefore we must beg the mercy of senior Vaishnavas. We should beg the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Krishna, that they constantly guide us. They constantly help us to proceed further. So I'm reading from this excerpt. One night, Abhay had a striking dream. The same dream he had had several times before. During his days as a householder, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati appeared just as Abhay had known him. The tall, scholarly sannyasi coming directly from the spiritual world, from Krishna's personal entourage. So Prabhupada is to tell Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj as Vaikuntha man. What is the meaning of Vaikuntha? Vaikuntha man means no anxiety. So what is Vaikuntha man? Prabhupada is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj is Vaikuntha man. Abhay, he called Abhay and indicated that he should follow. Repeatedly he called and motioned. He was asking Abhay to take sannyas. Come, he urged, become a sannyasi. Abhay woke up in a state of wonder. He thought of his instruction as another feature of the original instruction Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had given him at their first meeting in Calcutta. So, where had Prabhupada met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj?
Calcutta.
Exactly, perfect. Calcutta. In Calcutta, there is an Ulta Danga. There is a place called as Ulta Danga. So, near this Ulta Danga place, Prabhupada had met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj first time on the rooftop of a person's house. The same instruction that his spiritual master had later solidified in a letter become an English preacher and spread Krishna consciousness throughout the Western world. So we also, it is the innermost desire of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada that we all become great preachers. We preach in all languages. This is the innermost desire of Srila Prabhupada. The Western world, sannyasa was for that end. Otherwise, why would his spiritual master have asked him to accept it? Abhay reasoned that his spiritual master was saying, now take sannyas and you will actually be able to accomplish this mission. Formally, the time was not right. Abhay deliberated cautiously. By accepting sannyas, a Vaishnava dedicates his body, mind and words toward totally to the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, renouncing all other engagements. He was doing that already. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had offered sannyas to his leading disciples so that they could continue his mission. They hadn't done it. So now we are, see, it is the innermost desire of all our Vaishnava Acharyas that we become great preachers. So in order to become great preachers, we have to follow the instructions of our Acharyas. And all our Acharyas has given very simple instruction. What is that? That to chant. We chant our rounds regularly. I had requested Anushri to chant 2 rounds until Janmashtami. Anushri, you were able to do that?
Prabhuji, once, 2 times, and sometimes one, like this was going.
Excellent, very good. You tried, on my request, you tried very good. Now, please, you also try to do it whenever there is holiday. You will be having exam now, so you manage your time. Try as much as possible to chant. Don't never give up chanting 1 round. But whenever there is a holiday or anything, you should try to chant 16 rounds. So you should please try. Only then all our sins will be away and we will be able to become very strong devotees. Okay? So this is very important. So now will chant together. So now I request all of you, please unmute yourself. So we'll chant together. Gayatri, you are able to unmute yourself. So let us start. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravane Pracharine Nirvashesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare